My name's Tim Dickson. I've lived in Sheffield just over 20 years. I've been researching Leonard Beaumont for 4 years, and thankfully the publication that I've just written on Leonard Beaumont coincides with a big print retrospective at the Graves Art Gallery in Sheffield. I got interested in Leonard Beaumont about 4 years ago. I read an article in the Sheffield Art Review that was written by his granddaughter, and thought I'd research him because he was one of those key figures in Sheffield art history of the 20s and 30s. He worked in a variety of medium. He was a prolific printmaker, both etchings and lino cuts. He produced a significant number of publications, lino cut publications, in the 1930s, which then developed into him moving to London and working in the advertising industry, where he worked for various clients, huge multinationals, and established a brand identity for Sainsbury's. He had a quite fragmented approach to working practices. He'd master a particular area. For example, etching and printmaking and that side of things, worked in that area for 4 or 5 years. Then when he felt that he'd accomplished everything that he could, he'd move on. So the natural progression from etchings became lino cuts, which he did for 4 years, and then that became book design and illustration, which then inevitably led him into advertising, and then corporate identity and branding and packaging, which then led to the retail sector, and a lot of his reputation is based on his brand identity and his work for the General Post Office. There's a lot of large industrial cities in the north of England that are really proud of their heritage. Manchester with L.S. Lowry, Bradford with David Hockney, Leeds with Henry Moore and Damien Hirst. There were a lot of highly regarded and influential artists that came from Sheffield, and the thing with Sheffield is we don't really bang the drum too vocally. I think as a city we're quite modest. Leonard Beaumont was a truly accomplished draftsman, which you can see in his etchings. Obviously there were huge amounts of really talented etchers during the 1920s, and Beaumont made a radical departure in 1930 and got involved with lino cut printmaking, which was seen at the time as a truly avant-garde medium, and I think that his lino cuts are seen by collectors and individuals and galleries as probably his most important contribution to art history. Leonard Beaumont died in Haversige in Derbyshire in 1986, but thankfully 4 years before he bequeathed 80 original works to Museums Sheffield, along with an extensive and near complete archive.